Well, you're talking to a special education teacher.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did for in my career. And I taught special ed for 18 years, and the other 13 I taught regular ed, first through third. And I can tell you that when I had 29 first graders in my classroom, and when I had 20 first graders in my classroom, it was a huge difference when I taught first grade, and the class sizes fluctuated that much. With a special education child, or a child who is extremely gifted, or a child that is academically sound but happens to be struggling on some part of their education process, or a child that simply is dealing with their parents getting a divorce. Those kids, every one of our kids, every one of the children that come to our schools at some time or another needs more than a minute and a half of their teacher's time. They're not going to get that caring, competent adult through an online course. Do I think online courses are bad? No. I absolutely think that kids should understand and know how it is to take an online course. But I don't think that an online course should be at the expense of having more kids in a classroom for a teacher to be able to work with. You know, I keep reading over and over the idea that there's no research that supports having fewer kids in your class. And I guess, you know, if educators were only supposed to be herding kids and getting them in a line to march them down the hall, or, you know, they're all in here, 40 of them are all in here, and my job is just to kind of contain them and make sure that they're not beating the tar out of each other or spitting on each other or whatever. Great, pack 80 kids in here. You know, I'd be singing with them and doing Ring Around the Rosie and stuff, and probably nobody would die and nobody would get hurt. But we are tasked to teach children, and I just ask anyone who has been with a group of kids, at a birthday party, at Chuck E. Cheese, church, wherever, is it easier to manage a smaller group, or is it easier to manage, I mean, do you want to be with 5-5-year-olds, or do you want to be with 25 of them? It defies logic to me. And when we're tasked with actually meeting standards, meeting test scores, meeting all the things that we're required to do, but it's not a problem to put more kids in there. Come on, let's be real. It is an issue. Mm-hmm. Whether you can find a valid research or not, it is just common sense that when you're dealing with kids, the fewer you have, the easier it is to deal with.
Right. Now,
so, I just don't believe that giving a teacher a handful of clickers is going to solve our problems in education.